just thinking back about all the fucking crazy ass people I met before I got sober and when I was getting sober, staying at the fucking homeless shelter I was at. It was, I can't remember the name. It wasn't the homeless shelter. It was run by the Friars, and it was on like Main and Utica, near Utica Street Station in Buffalo, New York. And I don't know, just thinking about all the characters that were there. We had this short black guy who was like 4 foot nothing named Bear. His girlfriend looked like she was 7 foot tall, named Vanessa. They were both really cool people. This black couple that were older that for whatever reason, I don't know if he just started smoking crack on a whim or, you know, relapsed and fucking fucked up the rat. But they ended up getting back on their feet, and I remember seeing them. I had one guy, he literally moved to the homeless shelter from an area called Youngstown, New York. It's near Niagara Falls and Lewiston, because it was next door to his methadone clinic, and he could just sleep, walk out the door. I don't know if you've ever drove by a fucking methadone clinic. That's one thing that I knew I was never going to get on methadone to get off pain pills, because those people look like fucking they turn gray, you know, like it gets in your bones and shit. And I just remember, like, the whole reason he was there was because he just wanted to be closer to the methadone clinic so he could get up, go out of bed. He would just go get his dose and fuck around at the library all day and eat at the fucking whatever church and whatever, you know. And he was probably 25 years old. Nothing wrong with him. Clean cut, good looking kid, smart, you know, all that shit. And he just, that was his thing. Josh was a dude that was my roommate. He was a good looking kid. I didn't know he was a dad. He had 2 kids. He had been coming down to Utica Street Station and turning tricks. He was gay with dudes. And he fucking overdosed. He was my roommate. He overdosed in the McDonald's bathroom. He shot dope. I don't know if you ever overdosed, but there would be nothing worse than dying in a fucking... It happened to a kid in my hometown in Lockport. The kid died of fucking heroin. And this was before, I mean, like, there was even a pain pill epidemic, and this kid was fucking around with that shit. I'm trying to think who else. I remember this dude named Fred. He had a fucking scar, some Puerto Rican dude. We were all in the morning, this guy that was a Marine, he used to wake us up. He'd be like, hey Brian, time to get up. It's 7 o'clock, everybody up. You know, and he had this weird fucking voice, like a frog mixed with like something else. But I would always like do an impersonation of him, like he was like fucking Fat Albert. I'd be like, hey guys, it's time to get up, hey. And he was a cool dude, but I think he was fucking the girls that were in the shelter next door, like literally in the one hallway over, which was a no-no. But this Friday dude acted like he was some tough Puerto Rican gangster, like he was in fucking Carlito's Way or something. And one day I was talking to his girlfriend outside about something. She said something about my high school or something, that she knew a kid and she had just some stupid bullshit, you know. She was like the fucking homeless shelter hoe, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even talking, you know, whatever. And he comes up to me in the morning. We're all sitting down eating breakfast. There's like 15 of us all on this big table, like the 12 disciples, like it's the Last Supper. And he comes up and he's like, yo, motherfucker, don't be talking to my girlfriend. I seen you talking to her yesterday, man. What the fuck? And I said, hey, can you pass the Cinnamon Toast Crunch for me, Fred? And he's like, you hear what I'm saying? I go, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Can you pass the Cinnamon Toast Crunch? And he goes, just like looked at me and I just said, is there anything else I can help you with? I said, well, you know, get out of here. You know, he had been used to he had been used to fucking bullying people and thinking that he was gonna. I was like, man, I'll break this bowl of cereal right over your head today, as much as I like Golden Grams. Who else was in there? I had a dude I knew in there. He burned his lip on a crack pipe, so he had 3 lips. He had a fucking scar of fucking like a new lip over his lip. And he was the coolest. He was one of the coolest dudes in the world. I'm not going to say his name. But, he was supposed to come down to Florida with me and shit. There were so many people there were so many people in the homeless shelter that I just knew, like, I'm never coming back here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting my shit together and I'm getting the fuck off of these fucking pills. I'm getting back into shape. And there were so many, like Donald, he fucking sat down at Burger King and sold coke and crack all fucking day. And just would drink a cup of coffee and sit there with his Carhartt jacket on, freezing in Buffalo. Blue, fucking black dude that killed like 2 people. He almost killed me. He almost shot me the one day for fucking $40. He robbed me at gunpoint. And I called the police on him, and the detectives picked him up, and the detective's like, yo, just letting you know I got him in custody. He wants to talk to you. I said, I got nothing to say to him. He got out on bond. 3 weeks later, he was dead of a drug overdose. So many of these guys, I remember I met this kid in jail. They just get fucking hooked on this shit, man. Like, hooked. They start using needles and shit, and they get hooked on this shit. And I just seen so many, I'm just thinking, like, there's so many people that just didn't want it, So many fucking people, and, there's nothing worse than being in a situation where you can't even help yourself. And, I had no help from my family. That's why I don't talk to my family at all. You know what I mean? Went to jail. That's already been told, but I'm just thinking about people I remember. So many fucking fake ass people acting like they're sober, like Mark, this dude from the fucking Marines, and oh yeah, I got so they would talk all this shit, man. I would look right at motherfuckers and go, man, there ain't no way, man. If you're fucking sober, and being sober isn't being. I consider people on Suboxone sober. If you're not, I've never used Suboxone to get fucked up, and it was a pain in the ass to get off, but I got off it. I consider people using kratom sober. Methadone, it's really hard because so many people are addicted to methadone, and they use that shit with, Xanax and everything else. But I'll tell you what, man, those fucking those methadone clinic lines, you see some beautiful girls in them lines 1 month, and the next month they just look like Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? Like, it's really fucking sad. And, like I tell people, drugs are like Las Vegas. They're like a casino. They didn't, the house always wins, Drugs always win. Unless you fucking, I tell people all the time, like, I can't even tell you how many people I know. I had a coworker, I heard him, we were working, and I could tell right away, I could hear the pills rattling around in an empty bottle. I knew he had drugs on him. So many people start out like that, like I did. I never thought that I would end up using heroin or shooting dope. You know what I mean? And I never thought I would overdose on fentanyl, and it almost cost me my life, And I can see how it happens so quick. But there's so many people that they just talk about it, quitting, and they don't want to quit. Because if you really, 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 really want to quit, it will happen. You gotta change a whole bunch of shit. You gotta change everybody. You gotta basically do what I did. I went in the fucking witness protection program. I left my phone in a fucking dumpster somewhere near Broadway and Fillmore, where I used to go score pills. And I fucking flew out the next day. got a new phone down here, flew out the next, or I got the phone in Buffalo, flew out, and I had so many people calling me to ask me to buy pills and shit, even when I was getting sober, that I just said, I've got to get out of here. And I did, and it's been the best thing I ever done until I met the nerd.